Hello, Team Physics. How you all doing? Looking after yourselves, I hope? Right, what I would like to get started on here is an adventure into pressure and gases. An understanding of which has greatly changed the world over the last 350 years or so. Up until that point, people had just thought of gas as air, nothing much of interest. But the early investigations led on to an understanding of the very nature of all matter being made up of tiny, tiny particles and millions of them buzzing about, bumping into the walls of containers with a force that depends on the amount of heat energy available to them, the temperature of the material. And then people started to think of steam as being a gas of water, and that gas took up vastly more space than the original amount of water. And this change of size was the basis of steam power that launched the Industrial Revolution. And then later, the increase in the size and volume of gases produced when oil is ignited. And that's what drives cars, lorries, buses, jet planes. In fact, gases and pressure is a fundamental in many industrial processes used in the modern manufacture. And of course, the study of gas and pressure is the basis of the understanding of weather. So, the early investigations into gases and pressures. There was this bloke, Richard Townley, lived in Lancashire, a couple of 100 miles away, and he went into a valley and he trapped some air in a container. Then he took it up to the highest nearby hill, and he discovered that the volume had increased, although he knew that there must still be the same amount of air in there. Then he trapped some air on the top of the hill and he took it back down to the bottom of the valley, and he realised that the volume had decreased. And his proposal was that this change in volume was because of a change in the air pressure from the top of the hill and at the bottom of the valley. So Townley had a chat with his pal, Robert Boyle, who asked his pal, Robert Hooke, to check over the idea. And this work led on to what's known as Boyle's law, that links the volume of a gas to its pressure. Now, Boyle, who was actually a really nice bloke, who was always helping other people out and didn't really like to take the limelight for himself, and he always referred to it as Mr. Townley's hypothesis. Now, there's something else of interest here too, really, because it's the scientific process. Townley had this hypothesis, a proposal of what he believed was happening. And the process was then independently checked over by another person, Robert Hooke, who you will come across again when you investigate springs. Then other scientists of the day were brought in to check the proposal, and only when there was enough people satisfied was the idea accepted. See, anyone can make a proposal to the world, but for it to be accepted as scientific thinking, it has to be checked over and pretty much grilled before it can be accepted. And that's the great value of science, what makes it reliable. Although it isn't always right. Anyway, I found you a brilliant 15-minute radio podcast about an industrial process for extracting nitrogen gas from the air. Now, it's a story about gas and pressure feeding the vast population of our world, chemical weapons, politics, sexism, racism, and narrow-minded bigotry. It's got everything, this story, absolutely everything, except spaceships. Anyway, all of the instructions for the lesson are in the one document provided, complete with links to the various resources to help you along the way. I think this is about 2 weeks worth of work. So off you go. Go and enjoy yourselves and discover the wonders of gases and pressure. Catch you soon.